Hello. Do you want to play a game?
Be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We all go a little mad sometimes. Haven't you?
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Have you checked the children? Groovy.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
Oh, there we go. We are live.
We are live.
I mean, we've been live for a while, I guess, but we're officially on screen now. But yeah, welcome everybody. Anybody that's out there right now, thanks for tuning in already. That's awesome. We got a fun stream planned for you guys today. We took 30 quotes or one-liners, phrases, whatever you want to call them, from Ash Williams from The Evil Dead. And we are going to rank them on a tier list. We've been putting out a bunch of Evil Dead content for the last week. This is day 6 of our Evil Dead content that we're putting out. So we got 13, potentially 14 days of content of just Evil Dead leading up to Evil Dead Rise and including Evil Dead Rise, I guess. So this is just one of the things we decided to do for Evil Dead, the franchise.
Yeah. And obviously, elephant in the room, we could have made it whenever Ash has a good one-liner. You take a sip for it. Probably Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness.
Or Army of Darkness, yeah. That definitely could have been a rule.
Yeah, it would have been a good addition. I think we just kind of overlooked it. But this stream is definitely going to make up for that.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And there's so many times where it's like almost a one-liner, but it's maybe not quite good enough, or
Yeah.
Something
It
just
would be
doesn't
one of
hit
those
quite right.
rules that would have been up for debate.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, we got a tier list going on today. It just looks like this. We made a drinking game out of it. So we got 5 sips for every S tier quote, one-liner, whatever. 4 sips for A tier, 3 sips for B tier, 2 sips for C tier, and D is roll the dice, which we actually need to get a dice. No, we'll just use a digital dice on the phone.
Oh, okay, sure.
Make it easy. It's just going to be a 6-sided dice. Anytime there's a D tier quote, we're going to roll the dice and see how many drinks we take.
Okay.
We decided not to include an F tier because we didn't think that there was going to be any F tier phrases from Ash Williams. The reason we even chose this as a stream is because they're just pretty much all iconic.
Yeah.
And it's
and
not
why
like
would
there's
we
any...
just include a random quote? That
yeah,
doesn't
like a
make
random
any sense.
random part of dialogue. Yeah, and we didn't include any F tier for that reason because we don't think any of it failed.
Yeah.
Got my mom saying good afternoon. Hey,
Good
Mom,
afternoon.
thanks for tuning in. And yeah, so that's the tier list. We have clips. We're actually going to play the clips and you can hear the quote so that we have some context and just provides, a visual to the quote, not just the quote itself. You actually get to hear it and see it in action, I guess.
So it's a little bit of an interactive element, which I think
Yeah.
gonna be fun for sure.
It's gonna be a fun stream, I think. What do you want to tell them what we're drinking? What you're drinking?
Yeah. How about you get yours first, and I'll get mine ready. Also, you have an ingredient in the fridge that is mine.
Okay. Well, to start, I'm just drinking Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort. There we go. Southern Comfort, and I'm mixing it with Blackberry Zevia. I'm probably going to be mixing it with different flavors of Zevia throughout the evening, but yeah, starting with black cherry. But that's my drink. What do you need from in here? Oh, you need the cranberry juice.
I need cranberry juice. I've got a few things. First of all, vodka, 1 ounce. I've got an ounce of raspberry sourpuss as well, that I'll add in a moment. And then equal parts cranberry juice and sparkling wine. I just have Baby Duck. It's known as a vampire's kiss, or at least what I call a vampire kiss. There's different iterations of this, so
Variations, yeah.
I just kind of combined some of them and just kind of made it my own.
Right.
It's my own take on it. I think it's pretty damn good.
And I guess that's sort of foreshadowing for a future video that we're going to be posting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to tell you what it's for, but
you can probably guess.
Yeah, you can pretty much guess with what's been released recently. But first we're doing Evil Dead, and then we're moving on to some of those other ones. But yeah, so you're drinking Vampire's Kiss. I'm just drinking Southern Comfort mixed with Black Cherry Zevia, and yeah, we're pretty much good to go. I'm gonna pour my drink, and then we'll get right into it.
Shout out to Tucker. It was his birthday recently. Happy birthday, belated.
A few days ago, it was my birthday. Yeah.
So that's a good reason to break out the champagne.
Bunch of us got together and partied yesternight. I've never said yesternight before. Last night. I mean, it's not wrong, I guess, but yeah, we got together and partied last night, and it was a good time.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
In a while, so.
Yeah, exactly. Here we are partying again. Partying. We're taking it easy tonight.
We're just having some fun.
Casual drinks. Make a bit of a drinking game out of it.
Quick note, I love the color of this. Look at that.
It actually shows up on camera too.
That looks great on camera. Oh
yeah.
My god. Look at that. All right.
Alrighty. I'll switch it over to the clips, and we will start with the first one. I guess it's worth pointing out we're going in chronological order. So we're starting with Evil Dead from 1981, going to Evil Dead 2, going to Army of Darkness, and then ending on Ash vs. Evil, the TV series. Obviously, we didn't include anything from Evil Dead to 2013 because he's not in the movie, except technically there's an end credit scene that he's a part of where he says groovy in the shadows. It's just a silhouette of him. But we decided not to include it because he wasn't in the movie. And yeah, we didn't include it because it's not really an Ash quote. Yeah. And there's other groovies that we're going to get to as well. So
examples of groovy, so we're fine.
Yeah. Anyways, let's begin and get the first one going. And let us know how the volume is.
I would like very much to make a toast here for, as a Greek friend of mine once said, Nis, tu tarim.
Which means?
Party down! Yeah!
Okay. So as a Greek friend of mine once said, how do you feel about this quote? First of all, do you think that actually translates to party down?
I'd say probably.
Really? I'm willing to bet it doesn't. Because Scott doesn't know what the hell Ash is talking about in that scene. And I feel like he's just saying party down.
I mean, Ash and Scott are friends, so maybe he was there too.
Maybe he's got the same Greek friend.
Yeah, mutual friends, you know.
I don't know. But anyways, what do you think about this quote?
It's alright. Like, it's not great by any means. Like, if there was any ones that we put in D tier, I'd feel like this is probably a good start. There's going to be some bangers for sure coming up.
I mean, yeah, so many of them.
So in comparison, like, especially thinking of other quotes, I'd probably put this in D or C.
I would.
Was D more?
I would also agree D.
Okay.
Because he's not very eloquent when he says it.
He stumbles a lot.
A lot, and it adds to it, I guess. But it doesn't feel like Ash's character. Like, he didn't find his character yet in the first one too much.
And that's what I was going to say.
And
like,
so
Ash in Evil Dead is a far cry of what he becomes in Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Exactly. Like, they didn't figure out the Ash character that we know and love nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, he's still a fine
Ashley
character.
Williams. He's not Ash that we know and love. The guy with the chainsaw, the sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. So, we have to roll a dice to see how many drinks we take for this. 6-sided.
It's going to work.
It is working.
There you go.
4 drinks. You guys just have to take our word on this, I guess, that we're actually rolling a dice here. But 4 sips for that one. So,
I mean, there's been some streams where I feel like we've gained the audience's trust because I think there was one stream that we did a 20-sided dice a lot, or was it a 12 or something like that, and we just constantly rolled high.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember doing a 10-sided dice once.
I think that was for our March Madness stream.
Right.
Where
yes. Yes, we drank for each villain, and depending on who lost, that's what it was. Okay, well, let's move right along to the next clip here.
Killer if you can, lover boy. God forgive me, Lynn.
Okay.
God
forgive me, Linda. So, I'll start with this one. I think it's right out the gate. I think it's better than the first one we had.
Yes.
Because it kind of shows a humanity side to Ash. Like, he really doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to shoot Linda, but then
he knows what he has to do.
He kind of knows that he has to, and then he's hesitant, and then she starts changing back.
And then he's also like kind of like, God forgive me.
Yeah.
Like a sin against humanity, but also to Linda as well.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I think it's a little bit more impactful for sure.
If you take it in the concept of the first movie, I'd say it's powerful. It's not memorable, which is why I'm comfortable with C tier.
I think C as well.
Okay.
Because it definitely is better than the previous one, but it's not super impactful in the context of the rest of the series. So, yeah, we'll call it C tier. And that's just 2 sips. All right, moving right along. Number 3.
Oh, you bastards! Why are you torturing me like this? Why?
Just laughing.
Shut up!
The shut up adds a little bit to it.
Yeah.
It kind of is like, that's something that Ash
would say. The shut up was better than I think the main quote was delivered.
It kind of just adds a little bit of oomph to the end of it, you know? But again, I think it just kind of improved slightly over the last one. But is it B tier though?
No.
You bastards! Why are you torturing me?
It feels poorly. I think
he's not like
that
confident
Bruce Campbell
enough.
Wasn't in his full element here.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, he's not Ashley Williams. It seems hesitant. He wasn't a great actor in this movie. I'll say that in comparison to like 2 and 3, right?
Exactly. And it just like he didn't feel like Ash, like you say. He didn't have that confidence behind it. He didn't have that oomph, you know? But it's still better than D tier, so I would say it's C tier.
Yes.
Better than the last one though.
Yeah. I agree.
That's kind of what I feel. So you can even put it right in front of that one.
It seems like it's a quote somebody would say from like The Room or something.
The way it's delivered, even.
The way that it's delivered, it just feels a little bit awkward.
That's true.
Yeah. Still a good quote. Like, it'd probably be good in any other horror movie.
Yeah.
But
it's still...
It's the thing that we're comparing it to, like, Ash Williams himself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're comparing Ash to Evil Dead 1 or to Army of Darkness, like, which one are you going to choose, obviously, right?
For one-liners, of course, yeah. Alrighty. Move right along. I think this might be the last quote we have for Evil Dead. The Evil Dead. What's a long one?
Sun will be up in an hour or so, and we can all get out of here together. You, me, Linda, Shelley. No, not Shelley. She. We'll all be going home together. Wouldn't you like to be going home? Bet you'd like that, wouldn't you?
I like how he just like fucking forgets or like doesn't control himself.
Yeah, he's just like I wanted to pull that one because of how awkward he is.
Yeah.
And just like he's like, oh yeah, we'll all go back together. He's trying to give Scott a drink while Scott's just like laying there completely.
Yeah.
He's not dead necessarily.
Yeah. It's a taste of what's to come.
Yeah.
And I think that's unintentional.
Yeah, I know. And I just thought it was such an awkward delivery, and like the way he says it, you could tell he's trying to be comforting, but at the same time just doesn't know what to say. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like when you see a friend, he's having a bad time or something, and you just like try to comfort him, but you don't know how.
Or like it's like not really like a mutual friend, but somebody that you're just like, hey, that you don't really have like high stakes, and it's like it's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
Like the delivery is so poor, but every time I see it, I laugh and think like, are you just stupid, Ash? Like, what is wrong with you? And for entertainment value, I almost want to put it in B tier. Mm-hmm. But I also wouldn't be opposed in any lower tier either, because the way you look at it.
Like, I was honestly thinking in between God Forgive Me, Linda, and Why Are You Torturing Me?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not like I said, I could honestly be okay putting it in any of those tiers.
Yeah.
Simply because it's just the way you look at it. Mm-hmm. And for me, I get entertainment from it, but the delivery is poor.
Oh,
so that's a fair. Did we take our 2 sips for the last one? I think we did, yes.
We'll just take 4, whatever.
We have to make up for it anyway. And yes, that was the last one for The Evil Dead.
Evil Dead, that's the last one.
They just had to make it that confusing by calling one The Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2013.
Mm-hmm. In saying that, yeah, as you can tell, we have give or take 30 clips and 4 from this movie. So it just shows
how many more are in
the other series. Are in the other series, and how much better they are in the others.
Yeah.
Especially since all of these are C and D tier.
Yeah, exactly.
But we felt obligated to add some from obviously the Evil Dead for the most part, because it does have Ashley Williams in it.
Exactly.
We didn't want to straight up disinclude a movie, right?
No, exactly. And we didn't only want to pick like the best of the best. We wanted to pick some that kind of stood out from every movie, like you said. And these were the ones that kind of stood out to us and that we wanted to include. As you can see, we're not off to a great start in terms of the iconic ones, but we still had to include it just for fairness and diversity, I guess. But let's move right along. Starting on the Evil Dead. Here, I'll move us out of the way. How about...
Yeah.
1 sec. I'll put us down here this time. Alright. Evil Dead 2. Here's where shit goes way up.
You bastards! You dirty bastard! Give me back my head! Give me back my head!
Okay. Give me back my hand. What do you think of that?
So far, the best quote yet.
Absolutely. And from one of the most iconic scenes, arguably, in the entire filmography, where he's wrestling with his own hand. That scene, to me, I would probably rank that scene as my favorite scene in the whole franchise because of how well acted it is, and it looks like the hand has a mind of its own, like, you know.
Oh yeah, okay.
And like
that's fair.
That's just part of the context to the clip, the
and
quote.
That's the other thing. Immediate acting improvement.
Yeah, from the first one, it's insane how much of a jump and how much better he feels as an actor.
Yeah,
and just more confident and everything. It's starting to feel like the Ash we know, right? And in saying that, this probably isn't... Let me see for a second.
Oh, you're just comparing some of the other ones?
Just comparing, because...
Right? Because...
Like...
It's so hard.
This for me is A tier.
Okay.
And I had to debate whether it was A or S for me.
Okay.
Because of the scene. I think there's better... We have a couple from that scene. That's why I wanted to compare.
Okay.
But I think the other one from this scene is slightly better in my opinion, and just more impactful. That's why I think this is A tier. What do you think?
I was debating between B and A, so I think the easy solution is just put it in A.
Put it in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. I just really like I said, it's my favorite fucking scene. So it does well for me. And so
Certainly.
maybe that's a slight bias, but that's what we're here for, to be biased. All right, first A tier, 4 sips. Moving right along.
Who's laughing now?
So that's the scene that I was talking about.
Okay, and you think that's S tier?
I think it's S tier because that's where Ash loses his hand.
Okay.
That's where we see him cut his own hand off with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
He's clearly like, the way he says who's laughing now, he starts like quietly. It's clearly like in distress, and then he gets angry and starts screaming. I don't know. I just think it's very impactful, and because that's where he loses. The context of that's where he loses his hand, I think adds it one step up, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm fine putting it in S tier, but I wanted to put it in A tier for the main purpose that, like, I get your reasoning for it. The fact that it's a very monumental moment in the franchise.
Yes.
But I was looking at it at the quote alone.
Yes, and there's different ways to look at this.
Yeah.
That's the problem, because we know the context of it, right? And I tried to give a little bit of context
and
with the clips,
especially like
but
if I think of some of his other one-liners, some of his other one-liners are
that's
fire.
that's still not the best.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go that far, but it's up there for me, and that's kind of why I'm leaning towards S.
Yeah.
If you're okay with putting
I'm
an
fine
S.
with S. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. First S tier. Who's laughing now? 5 sips, eh? We got Wes in the chat. How's it going, Wes?
Good to see ya.
We are doing splendid. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Carrying right along. Next Evil Dead 2 quote.
We'll throw him in there. I made a mistake. Wait. Bring him over here. I made a mistake. Damn right.
Okay. Wait. I made a mistake. What do you think about that?
I made a mistake.
Wait. Or if he says it once super quietly.
Yeah.
Under like not under his breath, but he's like clearly in pain and stuff. And he says it again right before he gets kicked down into the cellar, screaming it. Wait, I made a mistake. And that's, I guess some context for that is he shot at them thinking they were deadites outside.
Yeah.
And grazed the one girl's shoulder. And then they came and started beating him because he was shooting at him. Yeah. And that's why he's saying, wait, I made a mistake. So what do you think of this?
So I don't think it's one of the greatest quotes in the franchise, especially not one of the greatest quotes in Evil Dead 2 even.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say C tier or B tier.
I was thinking C tier too.
Okay.
I could argue B tier, but in all honesty, like even some of these ones in C tier that we have kind of hit harder in some cases, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like just looking at it, why are you torturing me?
It's worse than torturing me.
You think it's worse than that?
I think it's worse
That's
than
what I
that
think
one.
too.
Yeah.
This one, now the sun will be up in an hour, where he's trying to comfort Scott. Yeah. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's worse than that necessarily. Mm-hmm. So I think in between those two. What do you think?
I think in between those two as well. That's a good spot for it.
Because you can, again, it still sounds like Ash, like he's comfortable in that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, take it or leave it as a quote, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a C tier. Good to see you guys too. I'm glad you're doing splendid. Thank you. All right. Moving right along.
If she went out in those woods, you can forget about her.
Short and sweet. The what's that guy's name? I forget.
It's not Billy Joe. That's the girl, right?
Bobby Joe is the girl.
Bobby Joe's the girl.
Oh, is it? Doesn't matter. We could sit here and think all night, but he's basically.
I want to call him Cletus.
It's not his name, but we can call him Cletus.
100%,
it's not his name.
Bother me until I figure it out, and I'm not.
James, maybe. Anyways, he is basically asking where Bobby Joe is. That's who he's talking about. Is Bobby Joe? Yeah. He says, "Where's Bobby Joe? We need to go find Bobby Joe." And then Ash turns around to him and says, "If she went out in those woods, she's not coming back." It kind of shows at this point that Ash is jaded, right? Like he kind of is that what's the word? Pessimist in a sense. Mm-hmm. Like we kind of know Ash as the guy. He's like kind of negative, down in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. Like he just and he's straight up at the same time, but he's very jaded. And I think this is the first example that we get to see that where he's just like kind of a dick in a way. If she went out in those woods, she's not coming back. Just accept it. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing going for this quote, I think. And it just kind of gives you a grasp of what the situation really is that's going on.
I'd say it's a serious quote.
Yes. It's not it's not like a joke or anything. It's not one of Ash's one-liners that are like there to kind of crack you up or whatever. Yeah. It is a serious quote for sure.
Again, I'm thinking B or C tier. I'm kind of torn on the two. Like, I almost want to say it's worse than Why Are You Torturing Me? Maybe we gave that one too little credit.
Maybe. But I honestly think it's better, and I'd be willing to put it in B tier.
Okay. I'm fine putting it in B tier for the purpose that I was, like, kind of torn between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. At the same time, like, we do... This is our stream. We do have the power to control and bump something up. Yeah. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll leave it for now. But
do you think it's better than Why Are You Torturing Me?
I do. I think it's more impactful. Okay. It gives you the gravity of the situation. Like, you know, it kind of gives you... It's serious and it's delivered as it is serious. Like, Ash isn't trying to be funny or coy or anything like that. He's being straight up, and it's kind of the time we get to... The first time we get to see him like that with people, I guess. Mm-hmm. Before, he's kind of just like, not necessarily a coward, because he still stands up and fights the Deadites in the first one. But in this one, you can tell he's like really taking charge and like, you know, making it, taking it seriously. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's slightly better.
Yeah. With that logic, I get it. I still might think it's better. I might think it is better than Why Are You Torturing Me? But at the same time, I think either is fine. Yeah. And also at the same time, we are going to have to compromise for each other in some cases. So we'll cross that bridge. Mostly we've kind of agreed for the most part. We've been fairly agreed so far. And I don't know how much variation we'll really have because it's not objective, of course, but there's so much iconic quotes that are
guaranteed going to be S tier.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next one.
What is that?
In 1300 AD, they called this man the hero from the sky. He was prophesied to have destroyed the evil.
Didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, so that's a one-liner from Ash. That's like clearly Ash right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, I don't know. And so this is Evil Dead 2. The thing I like about it is it's foreshadowing what you see in Army of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
I was going to say, I also love how he's like, didn't do a very good job when it's literally him.
It is literally him, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what we see in the next installment. Like the next installment, you could
and
call
that
it
he
a prequel.
didn't do a very good job
Exactly.
at all.
That's exactly what we see. And
he's basically calling the guy incompetent because
Yes.
he clearly sees the incompetence, and it's him.
and it's almost like it's meta or self-aware in a way, which I think it's very well done, and it's handled very well. And overall, it's a great line, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of subtle, kind of goes under the radar, I think, a lot of times, but
yeah.
it's definitely a good one.
I would say high B tier.
High B?
High B.
Yeah, I'd put it above that one. Give me back my hand. I don't like it as much as that. Yeah, I'm okay with B.
Mm-hmm.
High B, though. You're right. It's like, I wouldn't be mad putting it in A either if you wanted A. But yeah, high B. Oh, wrong way. We got to put that one in the front.
How do we do this now?
There we go.
There we go.
The first ones are kind of tricky. It's
yeah,
finicky. I don't know why. That's a funny quote. Yeah, that's kind of the first one that we got a laugh out of, really.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we got a laugh out of when he's trying to comfort Scott, but that's just because of how awkward the delivery is. This is like genuinely just funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're starting to get into some diversity here with the quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Dead 2's spread along the board pretty evenly right now.
Yeah.
If we're gonna beat this thing, we need those pages.
Then let's head down into that cellar and carve ourselves a witch.
Another short and sweet one.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on this? Let's go down there and carve ourselves a witch.
Pretty boss quote altogether.
It is. It's kind of that, like, it's a serious quote. Like, he's serious about it. It's not a joke. But its delivery is like, yeah, like, let's gear up and get this shit going. Like, let's fucking deal with this, right?
In saying that, I'm kind of torn between B and A.
You think between B and A?
I think between B and A.
I personally think B.
Okay.
And I actually would go below he didn't do a very good job.
Actually, now that you say it, yeah, I'm fine with below that.
Wes agrees. It's an awesome quote. It is awesome. He's like, he's a badass. So you get that vibe, right?
Yeah.
I think he didn't do a very good job just because of like.
I hold on kind of the same level as B and A, but or Oz didn't do a very good job. So I again.
So it's
I'm
like
fine with
indifferent
high B.
in front or behind. You don't care really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm fine putting it just kind of behind it.
Okay. Yeah, it's still a solid quote. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think if you're in B or higher, it's kind of like that's a solid quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just maybe not as iconic as some of the ones we'll see. But
have we been drinking for these?
I've been drinking.
I might have forgot. I don't even remember.
But we do need to drink for this one. Alrighty. Next quote. Ah, yes.
Groovy.
Classic.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's very evident in that clip, especially But we did have to chop these up a bit to avoid copyright. That's why it's kind of choppy like that for some of the clips. It's very evident in that one. I just wanted to say that. I forgot to point that out. But that is, I'd say, probably the most iconic quote in the entire franchise.
Yes.
Without a doubt. From Evil Dead 2 specifically.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Well, if not, we'll get there. Either way, I completely agree.
Yeah. And so does Hellbound.
Yeah.
So iconic. And Wes. Oh, yeah.
I like either way, it's high S tier.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any arguing that.
No, without a doubt, it's S tier. And it's certainly above Who's Laughing Now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. There might be one that comes, but I don't think of one that beats that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take 5 sips for that one. And just seeing the whole montage play out, where he's gearing up. You know, he's putting a chainsaw together so that he can attach it on his hand.
That little plug noise, the drum.
Yeah, and that's just it. It goes through it so quickly, and you see so many quick steps that they're taking, and it's just like it kind of gets you going,
just gearing up, and that's also where he gets his iconic weapons too.
Exactly, the chainsaw and the boomstick, sawed-off shotgun. That's more context.
Just looks so fucking badass with the chainsaw hand.
And that quote actually comes right after the last one we just looked at, where he said, "Let's head down into that cellar and carve ourselves a witch."
Yeah.
Like literally, the next scene we see is this scene. So it follows up a pretty good quote already, and then just like takes the cake and just ramps it up. So you're already feeling like, okay, this is about to get good from the last quote, right? We're about to see some action. And then all of a sudden you see him assembling his iconic weapons. You're like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, I think, like you said, no argument there with what tier we rank that in.
Basically, I get chills every time I hear that quote.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Let's carry on.
Hey, I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul.
Swallow this.
For some reason, as a kid, or when I was rather younger, I remember that quote a lot more than Groovy. I think it was just, maybe I just heard it
It's
more.
probably because of the Deadite too, the visual of seeing that creepy looking thing squirming on the ground, and then so I'm gonna swallow your soul.
Do you know who that was played by?
Yes, Ted Raimi.
Yeah, Ted Raimi.
Henrietta was Ted Raimi.
Yeah.
And
I never knew that until like a few seconds ago. Well, about 10 minutes ago, until I looked up the guy's name. He was a Jake, by the way.
Oh, you didn't? Too. That's when you just found out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I knew that. This most recent when I watched it most recently for when we were making our drinking game, I realized it was Ted Raimi. But up until that point, I had no idea. And I even Googled it. I was like, this guy kind of looks familiar. It almost looks like Ted Raimi. And it's because I recently saw him in another movie. I forget what it was.
You saw him in The Quarry.
Oh, yes. He was in The Quarry, not a movie.
Yeah.
That's why he was familiar. It was like kind of semi-fresh in my brain.
Yeah, he has a very unforgettable like face shape almost.
Yeah. And once you see him in that,
He's definitely also in Candyman, but I don't think you saw that recently.
No, not super recently. But anyways, where do you think this one ranks? I kind of think A, personally.
I was going to say S tier.
You were going to say S?
I want to say S tier just for the fact that it's, in my opinion, the quote that I remember the most aside from Groovy.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think, like, I'm not mad putting it in S tier at all, actually. And actually thinking at it, like, it's super simple. It's a one-liner. It's just like, it hits hard. Yeah, swallow this, and then blows the brains off the fucking Deadite. I would agree that I'll give you S tier. You gave me Who's Laughing Now.
Yeah,
I'll give you this for sure.
I think I want to put it above Who's Laughing Now. Too, if you're fine with that.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I think they're kind of comparable in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad putting it up there.
Cool.
We'll take 5 sips for that one.
Oh yes. I feel like I keep forgetting to drink.
I've been saying it every time, and then you've
been saying it every time that I've been drinking.
Compare how much we have left.
Yeah.
Like we have the same.
We're
so
on a good pace.
And that was the last quote from Evil Dead 2. So we're moving on to Army of Darkness.
Wow. we're flying, but then again, I think you and I both know that Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead is going to be probably the like 2/3 of this video, or the stream rather.
Those two combined are probably going to be half or more than half. Yeah, 2/3.
2/3.
Maybe even slightly more. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Okay.
All right.
Army of Darkness. Jinx.
Oh, I can't talk now?
I am Henry the Red, Duke of Shale, Lord of the Northlands and leader of its peoples.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants. I got news for you, pal. You ain't leading but two things right now. Jack and shit. And Jack left town.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first... That was like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, I think, where he says that. So we're starting off with some, you know, funny one-liner. Not one-liners. It's more than a one-line, I'd say. It's a funny quote right out the gate. And I don't think it's necessarily the best quote. It's not even it's not the best quote in the movie. But I think it kind of shows how Ash just like doesn't care what people think about him.
His pessimistic attitude.
Again, pessimistic, and he's just like straight up and doesn't care what you think about what he says
And
or what you think
all
about
at the
him.
same time, it's fucking funny.
It is.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's in chains, like just he can't move or anything.
He's about to die.
Yeah, and he's still cracking jokes like this. So like it shows how jaded he is as a person and as a character.
Yeah.
And it is a pretty good quote. That being said, where do you think it falls? I know where I think.
I'm torn between A or S.
I was thinking A. I don't think it quite lives up to those three we got up there.
Maybe if I compare it to "Give Me Back My Hand," maybe not, but they're different quotes in the sense that one of them's like very guttural and raw. Give me
Yes,
back my
they're
hand,
different vibes,
and one of them's just funny.
I
Either
personally,
way, I like the delivery of it. It's really good.
It is.
But yeah, I'm still fine with it. A.
I think A, and I think it is less than "Give Me Back My Hand."
Yeah.
Mainly for the scene that's involved, like the scene, the context of what scene is at play. I think "Give Me Back My Hand."
Yeah.
Gets the edge.
And this is at the beginning. Like we know that Ash isn't gonna die. So
exactly. Exactly. Ice Lord agrees. Wes, that's a pretty good one, I have to admit. Yeah. It's A tier. That's 4 sips. I'm gonna have to pour a new drink here.
If we did the math here,
you want to do the math quick?
15 plus 12.
That's 8.
So 27
plus 9. So that's 30.
27. So 36.
36.
And then 2, 4, 6, 8.
So 40. 44.
Yeah, I guess we're a little behind. I mean, depending on how we're pouring, we're probably not pouring exactly up to. I think we're.
Well, this is more than a can.
Yeah, I was gonna say a can's probably up to here, so
a can's slightly just above the words. So
we're probably not keeping up with our 30 sip per can scale, but I still think we're doing fine for the most part. Doesn't matter. It's not an exact measurement. It's not a scientific measurement.
We also kind of went hard last night, so we're definitely not going too hard, to say the least. We're just casually hanging out here, taking a few drinks.
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Sunday, we don't want to get too wasted, especially if we work in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Want to be able to do things tomorrow. I'm supposed to be doing my online CPR tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just about free poured it, and I'm trying not. I just talked about how I'm not going hard. I'm not gonna free pour.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to do when you're free pouring,
especially with ice in there. It's hard to tell how much you're actually pouring in when you have ice. Mm-hmm. But let me grab my can. Sorry to put a pause on this, everybody that's watching.
Sounds like a quote a dog would make.
What?
Put a pause.
Oh, put a pause? Why would a dog make a quote? They don't make...
Pause.
Oh, a pause. Took me a bit.
Right over your head.
Okay. Well,
That's not me spilling for once.
It just foamed a lot.
I just finished mine. I'm going to make another as well. Can you pass me the ice, please?
Don't mind us, guys. We're just making ourselves drinks.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best content, actually. Just watching two guys pour themselves drinks.
We literally have content based on that.
You're not wrong. Interested. All of our shorts, yeah. Yeah. And actually, this is a good time to call it out, I guess. We've made 2 drinks for the Evil Dead franchise already. If you haven't checked them out, we called it a Deadite Drop Shot. So that one was pretty... It's kind of a nasty drink, I'll tell you right now. But it's suitable for the Evil Dead. Mm-hmm. We'll say that. And then we did a Ladies' Man Shot, which was dedicated to Ash, just like this stream.
In order to do the Ladies' Man Shot, you've got to be a man. Oh my god. It is a hard shot
It's harsh.
To do.
It's pretty rough.
You feel it.
And
it's 2 ounces of pain. It freshens your breath a little bit, though, because of the fireball.
Yes.
But, man, it can hurt. It can do some damage.
It's pretty rough. Yeah, we recommend checking those out if you haven't already. And we've released 3 drinking games. We've done one for The Evil Dead from 1981. We've done one for Evil Dead 2 from 1987. And we've done one from Army of Darkness.
Just for the franchise, to clarify.
For the franchise?
For the Evil Dead franchise. You said we did 3 drinking games.
Yeah, we've done 3 drinking games.
For the Evil Dead franchise. We've done a lot more on the channel.
Well, obviously.
Just the way that you said it.
No, that's a given. That's obvious.
I know.
We've done 3 drinking games for Evil Dead, being the first, second, and third. The trilogy. Mm. And we have 3 more drinking games coming out. We have one for the Evil Dead remake, released in 2013. We have one for Ash vs. Evil, the TV series. It's actually the first time we've done one for a TV series.
Clarifying, we're not counting all totals for
that one,
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
That would take longer than probably the Halloween franchise. I did the math, and it's longer than the Scream franchise. And
oh, yeah.
So
for sure. And then, of course, we're going to be doing Evil Dead Rise. We're going to see that this week, and we'll be pumping out
some content here.
For that. And specifically for Evil Dead Rise, we're going to be releasing another 2 drinks, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And we are going to be making a drinking game for it. And after that, we are going to be making a podcast episode, where we are going to be ranking every Evil Dead installment, I guess, in the franchise. So lots of content coming out for Evil Dead, and we've been working pretty hard to get this out there, so we hope you guys are enjoying it. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it.
For debatably the best horror franchise of all time.
It's definitely, I think it's safe for me to say it's my favorite one, personally.
I think mine is Saw, just for the
Saw is up there too for me.
Just for the fact that all of them are entertaining, and the fact that I don't know, I like the aspect behind the traps and like the thought process,
that's the best
and
part
then the payoff. Man,
yeah. Saw is great, and we also it's kind of almost the franchise we grew up with, right? Too.
Oh yeah, that too.
So that helps as well, I think.
I don't think Saw is better than Evil Dead, but I like it more.
Yeah, and that's fair. And it's all subjective. There's no right or wrong answer, right?
Yeah. Anyways.
Shall we continue?
We can continue. Our drinks are made. We're good to go.
All right. Moving on to the next Army of Darkness quote.
All right. Who wants some?
Pretty straightforward. All right. Who wants some? It's again right early on in the movie. He's about to get he just got thrown in the pit, and then he got out.
Yeah, he just got out of the pit. They basically just tried to kill him. It's like, oh, this is a creature that kills everything, and everyone will die from this. It's impossible to kill. Yeah, and that's how they portray it. And then he just slaughters it.
Yeah,
and gets out of a pit, no problem.
Yeah, no kidding. And again, it just shows.
So he's pissed.
He's pissed off, and again, it just kind of shows like how much of a badass he is, and like he's not he's not willing to back down for anybody. There's like there's like 100 people around him that want him dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's still trying to stand up to them and be like, all right, who wants him? Come and get it.
Yeah.
It shows how badass he is.
It's basically him proving dominance in that point. He
Exactly.
knows that he can take full control. It doesn't matter if somebody's like the king or prince.
Yes, exactly. So, in saying that, I think it's pretty high up on the list. But at the same time, the way it's delivered, it's not bad, but it's just like, all right, who wants some? And I know it's supposed to be quiet, like, because it's serious in a way, but it doesn't hit super hard for me as much as some of these other ones do, and I think it'd be B tier personally. High B tier is my point.
I was gonna say C tier, to be honest.
You're gonna say C?
So it's B tier then, as a result.
Well,
because I was thinking like mid C. If you're thinking high B, I'm fine with it B tier.
I would be okay with low B. Well, let me look at these actually.
Yeah.
Let's compare them to B tiers. He didn't do a very good job. I think it's better than that.
You do?
No, sorry. I think he didn't do a very good job is better than all right. Who wants some? I think it's better.
Okay.
Let's head down into that cellar and carve ourselves a witch is also better than all right. Who wants some? Yeah. If she went into the woods, she's not coming back. That's like arguably one of the more serious ones, and straight to the point. Again, I think it's better.
Mm-hmm. You think that's better? I think
if she went into the woods,
I also think, like, I'm fine bottom B.
That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now, because I think it is better than Why Are You Torturing Me?
I don't. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the delivery. It's kind of schlocky, but it's a fun delivery.
You bastards! Why are you torturing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Actually, the more we sit here and talk about it, I kind of want to bump it up.
Yeah, we're bumping it up.
Like, let's put it up here then.
At that point. Are we going to put it ahead?
We can do that.
Okay, we'll put it ahead.
So we got to take 1 sip plus 3, so 4.
There we go.
We've talked about how much we like that quote already, so why not move it up, right?
Mm-hmm. Still can't get over how this drink looks, man. Fucking looks so cool.
Mine just looks like ginger ale. Can't even tell. It just looks clear on screen. Clear.
Tucker's drinking nothing. He's been lying to you guys.
Yeah, you can hear the ice. That's a satisfying noise, I hope. I can't tell. I'm not listening to our stream. All right.
You can hear the ice, though.
I can hear it in person. It's just whether the mic picks it up well or not.
Oh, I see. Okay. Army of Darkness.
Carrying on.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. This is my boomstick. The 12-gauge double-barreled Remington. S-Mart's top of the line.
This is my boomstick. I mean, classic.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main point where he puts emphasis on his boomstick. It's not all about the chainsaw anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't always about the chainsaw, but there was always more emphasis on the chainsaw.
There's more emphasis in the chainsaw in the movies, though, or there's more emphasis on the boomstick
in this one.
In this one
specifically, and this is where it starts to become more evident that it's like more used, right? And it hits hard, and just the way he delivers the quote, "This is my boomstick," and he just emphasizes the boomstick. It hits hard, and yeah, what can you say about it? It's pretty iconic.
Yeah. So my fiance at work, we have a lot of fucking flies flying around, and her solution to get rid of the flies was she just like wrapped up a bunch of fucking newspaper, and she named it the boomstick.
Did she say this quote when she's going to hit this fly?
Nope, but she called it the boomstick, which I found absolutely fucking hilarious. I'm like, she's the best. This is why I'm marrying this woman. But yeah, in saying that, I think it's S tier.
I think so too.
Okay, nice. Where do you think in S tier?
Where does it fall in S tier? I think right there, personally.
Okay, I was fine with beside Who's Laughing Now.
Either side, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there, personally.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right, so that's 5 sips.
I just casually took a sip.
That's fine. Alrighty. Moving right along. We're flying through this. That's alright, though.
First you want to kill me. Now you want to kiss me. Blow.
Again, very short and sweet.
What is the blow part?
That's always I've always wondered that, and that's what I was gonna bring up here. Like, what is blow? Why does he say blow?
By blow, does he mean like f off?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I interpret it. But like, that doesn't make much
Like
sense.
blow away, like
Blow me, like.
Oh yeah.
But again, that doesn't. It just doesn't sound right. It sounds awkward. The line, like, first you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. It's like, boom, okay, that's nice. That's great
Blow.
quote. But then he spits it out and says blow. Like, anybody out there, what does that mean? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
And that just, for me, takes away from the quote a bit.
Does it?
For me personally, just like, okay, yeah, that's a great quote. And then all of a sudden, blow. I start thinking about what it means. Like, what does that mean? Immediately when the quote starts making me think like that, it's like, why am I thinking about it?
Don't think of the quote like that. Just
No, I know. Like, it's still a great quote. Like, it's a great one-liner regardless. But it's just, I always wonder what that means, you know? In saying that, it's still a great quote. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downplay it. First you want to kill me, then you want to kiss me.
So, first you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. I'm just trying to think. I'm just comparing it to everything else.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at, too.
So,
I kind of think it's...
I think I've got a good idea.
I'm kind of thinking high B.
I was thinking low B.
You're thinking low B?
Yeah.
So where do you think? Like, at the bottom?
I was thinking bottom. I like Why Are You Torturing Me a little bit more.
Well, here, I'll give it to you on the bottom.
Well, we'll split the difference. We'll put it, like, middle.
Like here, then?
Yeah, right there is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was going to give it to you in the bottom because, like I said, the way that it makes me think.
Actually,
like, why does he say blow?
I don't think it's better than All Right, Who Wants Some.
That's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
I said
if I take away the
I think it's better than All Right, Who Wants Some.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's the quote again. If you just take away the blow, that's the thing that like throws me off.
I just ignore it and I take it at face value.
No, that's fair.
Aside from that,
but I don't know. For me, it's just hard to do that. So, and that's why I'm willing to give it to you. But anyways, let's
carry on.
Carry on, yeah.
Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
Just gets a rush out of it. Right at the end, he's like, it's just like full of adrenaline right there. That's a fucking good quote. Yo, she bitch. Let's get some. Not just the quote. It's let's go. Yeah. And then the end helps it for me when he's like, they go through a fight and whatever, and shoots behind his back, and then I don't think it's S tier. I don't think it goes that high. But I think it's a pretty.
The let's go part I find like that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I kind of think it's A tier personally. Where in A tier though?
Yeah, I.
Do you agree with A tier?
I'd fuck with A tier, yeah.
So do you think it's? I don't think it's better than Give Me Back My Hand personally.
I think it's in between.
I think it's better than Fancy Pants.
In between. Yeah.
Well, that was easy. 4 sips.
Gets a little bit harder once we start adding some more things on here.
Alrighty.
That one.
Okay, yeah.
Groovy.
So that's another groovy quote.
Mm-hmm. We could have just categorized all the groovies as like the same.
Nah,
played them as a compilation.
I thought about it, but they are not the same at all for me.
Yeah.
Not even close, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So let me start by saying this. If you play this Groovy that we just watched versus the other Groovy we watched earlier, this one,
you're not wrong in
it
that.
feels it's not as fast paced. It's not cutting through the montage as quickly. And the way he delivers Groovy is just like a little more subtle, more casual. And it's not as iconic because it's just getting a metal glove that fits him.
Yeah.
So
Especially with the other one, like the zoom into the face, and it's like...
I mean, this one still zooms in on his face, but it's like... Again, it's not as impactful, I don't think.
In comparison to the last one.
But... And another thing to think about with that is... At this point, when this came out, Groovy from the first one was already set in stone as an iconic quote.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just capitalizing on that and doing another one to make it work.
Sure.
And it is a good quote still, don't get me wrong. But it's nowhere near the first one. And I would argue it's even in B tier.
You'd argue it's B tier?
I would argue it's B tier. What are you thinking?
This one in comparison. Okay, so...
I am absolutely not willing to put it in S.
Yeah, no,
Without a doubt.
I'm looking now, and now that you have solid points, I'll put it in high B or low A.
High B or low A. So you definitely don't think it's better than that. I agree. He didn't do a very good job.
I'll put it below. He didn't do a very good job.
You think so?
I'll put it below. He didn't do a very good job.
Okay. I'm on board with that. Three sips.
This is starting to look like a bell curve.
Yeah, it is, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even show them. Look at that.
Oh, shoot. Sorry about
We put it here. Let me pull it up again. There's a lot of quotes to look through here. This is where we put it, right here. Groovy version 2.0.
There we go. I'm just gonna take a little.
I gotta take 3 sips still for that. Alrighty. And
when thou retrievest the book from its cradle, you must recite the words Klaatu, Verata, Nikto. Well, repeat them.
Klaatu, Verata, Nikto.
Again!
I got it! I know your damn words, all right?
So this is let me switch this back, sorry. This quote, what is your thoughts about it? I know your damn words, all right? I got it. I know your damn words.
You know one quote that we forgot to put here, and I'm so disappointed? It was Klata Vrata.
Oh, I know.
We forgot to put it on.
I thought about it.
We should have.
But
we should have.
Here's why I didn't.
Uh-huh.
It's because we had around 30.
Yeah. Well,
but that didn't.
So, if that was on here, I would have put that in easy A tier. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, we could take an honorable.
Yeah, we'll take an honorable sip in a bit. Such a good quote, or like lack thereof, rather.
Yeah.
I know your damn words.
Yeah. I got it. I know your damn words. There's another quote that comes later on in this movie that kind of coincides with this in a way.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And I think this one's
worse, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And in saying that, I got it. I know your damn words. And just knowing the context of he forgets the words helps too. So I think B tier.
I was thinking B tier too. I think
we got lots of B tiers, eh?
Yeah. Mid high.
I got it.
Actually,
I know your damn words.
Let's see here. I would put it after Let's Head Down to That Cellar.
That's exactly where I was thinking.
You put it before.
Oh, after.
I was thinking after.
Oh, you're thinking right here.
Yeah.
I was thinking here, but also I'm not that.
Yeah. And go carve ourselves.
I'm not gung ho on any of them. So
go carve ourselves a witch sounds fucking cool.
True enough. Yeah, I'm happy with it there.
Yeah.
3 sips. Goddamn copyright. I even uploaded this to test it, eh?
Yeah.
And it never got claimed. Even up, it's still on our channel right now.
I think it's from me saying groovy too much.
Groovy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Just
gonna get
from me.
You're not gonna get claimed for saying groovy. Anyways, our stream's not blocked, so we're fine.
Yeah.
We're
excellent connection, it says.
We're still alive.
Yeah, we're alive and people, one full person's here.
Well, that's what we think. It's what it says, I think. That's okay. I'm having a good time.
If you're tuning in on another date, welcome. How was the future? Who won the election?
Who won the election?
Which election?
When are you watching this?
I don't know.
Who's
They're watching it in the year 2028.
Mm-hmm. Hi, future people.
I'm bad, Ash. And you're good, Ash.
Little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes, little goody two shoes. Ow!
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
Before I forget to point it out, the tree visibly moves like it's a prop.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes.
A little bit corny, but
that's okay. I mean, the fucking whole movie's corny. Let's be honest. Army of Darkness pretty corny.
However, I'm not stopping from putting that quote itself in S tier.
Oh yeah, I think so for sure. Just like the whole scene itself, it starts out with the mini Ashes attacking him. Already you're having a good time watching that unfold. And then it goes out to here where Bad Ash splits off of him. Because at first it starts connected to him. Yeah. He splits off of him. And then he starts attacking him, calling him little goody two-shoes as he saw. And then Good Ash just blows his head off. Or blows him back with the boomstick. And says, Good Ash. Or good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun. And it's like, yeah. Boom.
It's a good fucking
It's a good
quote.
Fucking line for sure.
It reminds me of like the good, the bad, and the ugly, kind of like a play on that almost.
Yeah. Good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun.
Yeah.
So where do you think this goes?
Oh, God, where does it go?
I
want to
kind of think here.
I'm fine with that because it's not going above groovy no matter what anyone says.
No.
I was debating above.
I was kind of debating
and
here.
Swallow that, but I'm fine with above swallow this.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just the delivery is perfect too.
God, it's good that we're not gonna have to try to fucking put something else at the top of S because that's gonna be hard to do. Just because it sucks to try to maneuver through that.
What?
Anyways,
what are you talking about?
No, because like how if you try to put it like in the first slot, it gives us issues sometimes.
In the very first spot, it kind of makes it a little bit harder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 5 sips for that.
I mean, we could always put in the second and then move the first one to the second.
Yeah, true enough. Whatever. It's not a big issue.
But either way, nothing's getting above groovy.
I don't think so. How far are we through our clips? We got 2 minutes and 43 seconds. We've gone through 6 minutes so far. 6 minutes and 14 seconds. So we're getting kind of close to the end of our compilation here, but still got a good chunk to go.
You found me beautiful once.
Honey, you got real ugly.
Straight up. You got real ugly. I mean, it's pretty funny.
I love that quote, though.
It's pretty funny. Doesn't hit as hard
especially
as a lot of these,
like
though.
That's a good comeback, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly a good quote. But
honey, you got real ugly.
You got real ugly. I don't know where to put this. I'm thinking in between B and A. Somewhere either low A or high B is my point, or where I think.
I was thinking bottom of A. I just want to look.
He didn't do a very good job referring to himself. That's still pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, below bottom of A. I'm cool with that.
Bottom of A?
Bottom of A. Because I still think it's like a definitive step above. He didn't do a very good job.
You think so?
I think so.
I'm starting to look at this one the way we looked at Why Are You Torturing Me? Do you think this is on the same plane as Why Are You Torturing Me? He didn't do a very good job. And it's like that meta self-aware because they knew they were going to make a movie about it at this point, right? Did they?
Well, because the way that the fucking second one ended, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So they knew, but I kind of want to bump it up. I don't think it needs to go above any of these, but I think it should be bottom A is my...
It could be bumped up. I'm cool with that. Sure.
Just looking at some of these ones, like, I think it's better than all these bottom ones.
Mhm.
So I think it deserves to be up. So that's one more sip for that one.
So 5 total.
Right, for the last one. Alrighty. It's the first time we've made this many changes on our tier list as we go on. I mean, it's only been 2, but
the format that we have now for I guess the program that we're using makes it a little bit easier.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, the better.
I thought about staying. They offered me the chance to lead them, to teach them, to be king.
Did you say the words right this time?
Well, maybe I didn't say every single tiny little syllable, no, but basically I said them, yeah.
So that's the other clip we were talking about.
And then you see another deadite, and then he has to kill it. But I fucking love that.
It's pretty funny.
Because he says something similar earlier on in the movie. And the fact that it happens pretty much twice.
Exactly.
It just makes it so fucking funny.
Yeah. It's pretty damn good.
So anyways, in saying that,
maybe not every syllable, but basically I said it, yeah. I mean, I can't fit the whole quote on these images. That's why I just put this little bit of it. But what do you think? It's certainly at least B or higher.
I'm thinking...
Like, it's not below
I'm
B.
thinking the bottom of S.
You're thinking it's that high?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I don't know, man. This is the first one I'm not agreeing with you hard.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think it'd be like bottom.
I think
A.
it's just such a fucking funny quote.
It is, but like looking at A, "Give me back my hand," I think is way more hard hitting for me.
You think so?
I think so. I think Yo Shibich, let's go is better, especially with the way he like at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
I could put it above the rest. I don't know. I can't put it in S.
I'll meet you in the middle. We'll put it second in A.
Second in A?
Second in A.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Back my...
I still wouldn't put it that high, but that's fine. Like,
would you put it above Mr. Fancy Pants?
I would put it... I think I'd put it one below Fancy Pants.
It's just the fact that it's the second time when like he already knows the consequences of fucking up the quote once.
Yeah, I know.
And then he does the exact same thing.
Yes, I know. It is funny, but I don't know. Like it's a great line. Don't get me wrong. I just can't put it above. I don't know.
It's one of the funniest in the franchise.
That's fair. I don't know. For me, there's some funnier ones, but this is where we have to agree to disagree and compromise. That's just the way it works.
This is one of the hardest ones to disagree, and it's only like 2 slots over.
Yeah, right. It's only 2.
We've been
down.
pretty agreeable so far.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty much we've agreed for the most part. But.
Yeah.
All right. I think there might be one more for Army of Darkness.
Oh, there is.
Sure, I could have stayed in the past. Could have even been king. But in my own way, I am king.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby. Hail to the king, baby. It's, what do you think?
We're going to align with this, probably. At least for which column we're putting it in. I think it's S tier.
Wait, did we drink 4 for the last one? We didn't.
Yeah, we were too busy debating.
So you think S tier for this?
Sorry, I think S tier.
Hail to the king, baby. And yeah, this is like typical Ash. This is narcissistic, like full of himself, egotistical, confident Ash. This is the Ash we've known up at this point in time. And yeah, it closes the movie with this line, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty it shows that he's the ladies' man too, which we made the shot for, like we said. And yeah, it's just so much of this line alone kind of shows Ash's character just wrapped up into one line, right? So I would agree with you. I don't think it's high S necessarily.
I do.
You think high S?
I think it's
like,
next to groovy.
You think it's that high?
Yeah, I love that line. Hail to the king, baby. Especially like I could have been a king, but I am a king in my own way. Hail to the king.
Yeah.
Goes in for a kiss. Especially good close off for the movie.
It is. What about good, bad? I'm the guy with the gun, though.
Like, yeah, like I could debate that and swallow this. Like I'm fine putting it
right
anywhere in and around there.
I think it's better than swallow this.
Yeah.
I'll say
so
that.
Yeah, we'll put it third.
You're good with that?
Yeah.
All right. That's 5 sips. Damn, I gotta pour another drink. Okay, I'm gonna quickly pour a drink.
Okay.
We didn't even make it through Army of Darkness and I fucking finished my drink. That's how good these lines are because we ranked them all. There's not been one from
Army of Darkness
below
all
B.
have been in B.
Or higher. Evil Dead, there was only one.
Evil Dead left, but yeah, no, Army of Darkness is pretty damn consistent.
Even Evil Dead 2 is pretty consistent. It's a little bit more spread, I think. There's a lot of A for... Well, there's both A and B are, like, tied for Army of Darkness. S has 3 alone from both Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Evil Dead. I'm surprised Evil Dead 2 was on par with Army of Darkness, to be honest.
Really? I'm not surprised.
I am.
There's a lot of iconic quotes from it. I mean,
Especially
Army of Darkness
Army of Darkness, in my opinion, is like the one where they were just like, okay, yep, we can do whatever the hell we want. Like,
it's the one where they ramped up the one-liners for sure.
Yeah.
And they took more of the comedic.
That's the other thing. They tried to take the comedic approach.
Yes.
And obviously a lot of it worked.
Oh, yeah. And that's kind of what Army of Darkness did, is they took the more comedic approach. I think the Evil Dead, was mostly horror. There was no comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Evil Dead 2 did the balance between comedy a bit, but it's still mostly horror, I think.
Yeah.
It was horror more than it was comedy. There was some comedic elements and some funny one-liners and stuff, but for the most part it was horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then Army of Darkness, they kind of just flipped it and put more comedy and less horror, I think.
Yeah. I'm just going to think about this really quick. Drinks, we should be at 5 times 6 is 30, 34, 38, 42, 46, 50, 54, and then 57, 60.
While you're doing the math in your head, 69. We got Jamie Hart saying hello. How's it going, Jamie? Thanks for tuning in. Glad you could stop by.
Oh, I lost track now.
Idiot. There's 30 at the top. We were at 50 when you got to here. Or no. 50's... Wait. Fuck.
30 and then 4 times 6 is 24. So 54, 60, 63, 66, 69, 72, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 85 is what we should be at. So 3.5. 3.5? 2.5.
Well, that's
almost
drinks.
3. Wow.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit behind. That's
well.
Fine. I'll just finish
again.
This
Again, these are more than a can. You're not keeping that in mind. We're not that far behind based on our scale.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move on. We've now finished we've gone through The Evil Dead, we've gone through Evil Dead 2, and we've gone through Army of Darkness. Let's move on to Ash versus Evil
Dead,
the TV series. And
I watched this so long ago.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched it recently.
I just thought I'd say full disclaimer. So a lot of these clips I could be going into blind or just straight up forgetting.
That's fair. And also, it's worth noting that we could have made an entire live stream based on this show alone, because this is similar to Army of Darkness, where they had a lot of comedy in it and a lot of one-liners, and they they went heavy on that, and it's all about Ash. So we could have made an episode strictly on this, but we didn't want to just put all Ash versus evil in this video. And it's so bear that in mind, that we know there's a hell of a lot more quotes that we could have picked from this, but we tried to find the ones that we liked the best. And a lot of them are from the first season, I'll say that. I think they're potentially all of them, maybe not one of them is from the first season. So I'll say that because I knew that's the one you watched was the first season. I don't think you watched all of it, did you?
I watched all the first season, yes.
The first season, yeah, but you didn't watch all of the series?
No.
Okay.
There's 3 seasons, right?
3 seasons, yeah.
It's one of the things that I've got to catch up on.
And so that's why I put most of them from the first season. I think all of them, to be honest. But either way, enough rambling.
Right, let's refresh my memory from Ash versus
Let's go
Evil
on
Dead.
to Ash. Oh, 1 second. We got to move ourselves out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
Not for much reason, just for the title there. Ash vs. Evil Dead, 2015 to 2018. That's when it ran. All right.
You don't believe Mom's horseshit story, do you? She's a deadite. And I think Dad is too.
Her mom, she doesn't even have the crazy white eyes. They're brown and lovely like her daughter's.
I remember when I was like you. Young, dumb, full of conflicting emotions.
So, that's the first one we got here. Young, dumb, full of conflicting emotions. It's, you know the saying. Like, you kind of have, it diverts your expectations, I guess.
Yeah, young, dumb, and stupid.
No, young, dumb, full of the thing we spew out. Come.
What? I didn't know.
You've never heard that
I've
phrase?
Never heard that quote. What?
What? You've never heard that phrase?
No, I've never heard that.
Are you kidding me? That's a classic quote that people say.
What?
Have you? That's insane.
I've never heard that.
Holy
in
shit!
My life. Yeah,
Anybody out there, have you heard that?
Yeah,
Anyways,
I've never heard that quote.
That's why it's so funny when you know the context of that quote.
Okay.
Young, dumb, and full of. He pauses. Conflicting emotions. He stops himself. I don't know. That's like. It's super funny.
Unfortunately, that's gonna weigh it down for me. Let's see the other.
That's gonna
quotes.
weigh it down.
Well,
when you know the quote.
No. The fact that I don't know the original line, right?
But now that you do know it, you can't.
Yeah.
You got to take that in consideration.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's pretty fucking funny, I gotta say. Like, it's pretty crude. It's crude humor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I'll still put it mid-A.
It's certainly A in my opinion. Yo, she bitch, let's go. Young, dumb, and full of conflicting emotions. I think this is a good spot for it, personally. What do you think?
I was thinking 1 slot lower, but
below Fancy Pants.
Yeah. Actually, no,
I think it's higher.
It can be above. It can be above. I'm cool with that.
I think it goes there. I don't know. It's just funny, especially when you know.
And then again, like, we'll give the benefit of the doubt here for the fact that you've seen the show.
Yes.
So you get Tucker the Farrow's override.
There, Jamie's. She's laughing. I've definitely heard that. Jamie knows. Wes, yeah, I've heard it before.
Yeah, I'm alone in this. I've never heard that.
I'm
I don't
so
know how
shocked.
I've went fucking 27
so
and a half years not knowing that quote.
But yeah, that's 4 sips. But yeah, let's. Do you want to make your drink first?
Yeah, I'll make my drink first. Maybe it's all right. How the fuck have I never heard that quote, but everybody else has?
I don't know. It's kind of shocking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know why you've never heard that. That's amazing to me.
I've actually never heard that.
That's said like quite frequently. Like, I mean, you're not gonna hear it every day. Not everybody's fucking saying it all the time. But yeah, yeah. Young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah. Doesn't ring a bell whatsoever.
That's how they describe like horny teenagers.
I was raised in a Christian household.
That's how people describe like horny teens and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I always thought of the quote like dumb and like young and stupid or something. I mean, like that. That's what I immediately thought of. But I've never heard of that quote before.
Yeah. I mean that. Once you know that, it just adds another element to that quote.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's
Young, dumb, and full of conflicting emotions.
It's just funny. The delivery is great because he stops himself and then he realizes what he's about to say and he's like, "Don't. I'm gonna
like,
not
I guess
say that."
It's funny in the sense that he's also talking about like because in this series
Pablo is like super into Kelly.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and Pablo's like head over heels talking about her, especially in this episode. Like that's where it kind of just started.
Yeah.
And that's.
And because he's like referring to like Pablo thinking with his head in the wrong head.
Yeah, exactly.
So I find that funny in that sense. Like, I don't know, the setup's good. I'll say that, and that's why you and I align with it like fairly well. Like, down, even though I've never heard of that saying. I don't know how everybody else has heard of that saying, and I'm the only fucking one, and I'm alone in that.
It's weird.
That's funny.
Anyways, I'll start this. You're good to go?
Drink's basically made.
Yeah, perfect.
Please continue.
All right, let's see what's next.
I'm not big on goodbyes. Don't you get it? Everybody dies here. It's just a rule. Death, taxes, more death. And I don't pay taxes, so all I know is death.
Again, like...
Better.
Classic quote. Classic in the sense, like, it's just funny. And it's... Again, just shows how jaded Ash is as a character, right? It shows that he says it. There's only two things in life that are certain: death and taxes, and I don't pay taxes, so all I know is death.
See, I know that common quote.
Yeah,
death, taxes, and then somebody inserts line.
Yeah, that's a common quote too, and that's kind of why I pulled that one too. But again, just a funny line, and it goes perfectly with Ash's character, like. And how he is as a person, like his personality.
Yeah.
So it's a rule: death, taxes, and more death. What do you think of this one?
So much better.
You think it's so much better?
Not so much better, but it's better. Than
it is better.
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
It is better.
Emotions.
Full of conflicting emotions, yeah.
Conflicting emotions.
Conflicting emotions, he says though. But so you think it's better? Do you think it's?
I think it's better than. I think it's stop. Good.
Right here?
I think right there.
What do you think? Maybe not every syllable. I would argue here.
Okay. Again,
but, like
you get overrides.
Well, to an extent. Yeah. Like you still get the line.
But I just think of what is it? Actually, I'm going to compare them side by side. I mean, I know obviously maybe not every syllable. Is it will death tax more death and I don't pay. They're pretty comparable. I'm fine putting it ahead. Okay. Like they're like neck and neck.
Fair enough. I think it's better.
What was can you go back to the tier list quick?
Oh, I haven't been showing them. My bad.
Give Me Back My Hand. Maybe even both of them are better than Give Me Back My Hand.
Oh. I was so close to putting Give Me Back My Hand in S.
Yeah.
You think
I was the one that held you back on that.
I definitely don't think this is better than Give Me Back My Hand. This one I could put ahead, but like I could do that if you would want to.
I'd rather do that actually. Weirdly enough, I'm
gonna do this.
Yeah, that's easier.
You want to do that?
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
Okay,
even though I like syllable more than that probably, but
it's so hard for me to put
though it's
ahead.
It's
close.
Very different.
They all have different
like
vibes,
one's comedic and one's like raw
one's
emotion.
100% comedic and one's like
yeah.
But I think it's fine spot there. All right, so that's 4 sips.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Whoops. Okay, let's move right along here.
Now that's what I call cleavage.
Again, just shows.
Wait, was that his love interest?
That was Bad Ash for context.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was not the real Ash. That was. I
was like, I remember some things.
Yeah, that was his love interest. And yeah, that was Bad Ash. I guess that is important context for this clip. But that's why he attacked her. And then the real Ash comes in and kills Bad Ash and chops him up into pieces and stuff. But yeah. Again, it's just another comedic punchline. Like and it's clearly a play on words. Like he's holding a meat cleaver. Yeah. Shoves it in or slams it into her neck and says, "Now that's what I call cleavage." The one thing that would have made it better is if she actually had cleavage. I think it would have been like a double whammy. In this scene, she doesn't have cleavage. There is another scene in the past where she does, but it's still a funny line. But I don't think it's as good as the other two we just looked at personally.
But she was wearing like a crop top, even though
not a crop top necessarily.
Well, like something more revealing,
low
even
cut.
Though like like something low cut, like it could be considered sexist, but I feel like that'd make it.
I mean, he does a lot of stuff like that through the series that could be considered sexist. Like, in all honesty, but I don't think it's as good as these two personally. It's
Honey, You Got Real Ugly. I didn't do a very good job. I'll put it. Wait.
Or do you think it's A tier in the first place? Is what I'm wondering. I think it's better than Groovy version 2 personally. Yep. Do you think it's there? Do you think it's? I think it's there personally.
He didn't do.
Actually, I think it's there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, do we put it in A? Do we put it in B?
That's the other thing.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm kind of thinking too.
Actually, now that you say it, I would probably put it in high B. Personally, but I'm not mad if we leave it in low A.
Yeah, we'll put it in low B.
High B.
Sorry, high B.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it in high B.
3 sips for that then. I think this is the most stacked tier list that we've had, where it's like super heavy loaded, like in the upper tiers.
Yeah.
Which we expected.
We very well expected this. Like 3/4 of the bottom 3 tiers are literally the first movie where Ash hasn't been established as a character,
exactly,
as a horror icon.
Yeah. High B, I agree.
Okay.
Jamie says.
Nice.
All right. We have a minute and 15 seconds of quotes left. I'm not sure how many that equals out to be, but let's find out.
Someone needs to wash your mouth out, kid. And that someone is me.
Okay. Not as strong.
It's not as funny. It's more of like the one-liners as some of the other ones.
I've been doing a great job of not looking at the quotes. Especially that's my first time like seeing these all.
Oh, you mean on the bottom when I do the tier? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically a little child deadite demon thing that gets summoned. If you watch the series, you understand. But the joke is like, okay, someone needs to wash your mouth. He gets bitten by him first of all, and then he's like screaming. He's like, ah, and then he shoves the gun down the kid's throat and he says, "Someone needs to wash your mouth out, kid." Picks him up, and that someone is me. Blows his
and that's a common form that parents use as punishment, like the soap in the mouth.
Wash your mouth out, kid. Exactly, yeah. So it's still a good quote. I agree it's not as strong as some of these other ones that we just seen from Ash vs. Evil Dead. But I don't think it goes as low as C tier. Definitely, I think it'd be low B, personally.
Can I take a look at all the quotes? Let's do that.
Just 1 sec, sorry. Yeah, okay.
I think it's mid C, to be honest. I'm
mid C.
Yeah, I think mid C.
I'm thinking low B. I would give you high C.
Okay. How about we put it high C? Like honestly, I was thinking B. Above. I made a mistake. Maybe above. Now the sun will be up in an hour.
You were thinking above this or below this? You were thinking below. Wait, below, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I can't put it below that. Yeah. I don't think.
Okay. Well,
I'll give you C. I really do think it's B, but I'll give you C.
Okay.
And
yeah,
that's 2 sips.
C for the most.
Jamie agrees with me. I vote
She
C
agree-
for the most fun.
What?
Just kidding.
I was like,
she agrees with me.
She agrees with me. Okay, Tucker, let's put it lower. Let's put it mid C like I asked.
No, I'll give it. I gave it to you guys. I gave you C. I do think it's low B though, personally.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I also have a high affinity for this series. I really love that series. So.
That's your favorite TV series of all time.
Yep. As of right now, it is. That's fair. Thank you. That's fair. All right. Carrying on.
Shoot first and think later. Or don't think at all. Yeah. Shoot first, think never. Shoot first, think never. Noted.
Shoot first, think never.
Also, speaking of how this is your favorite TV series, we were playing a little drinking game called Drunk Tales. It's a board game that is amazing. If you haven't played it,
It's
you
pretty
definitely
fun.
should. We were playing this with one of our buddies, Chris, and I don't know why this went over his head, but everybody had to name a character, or he had
Everyone
to name
said their favorite TV series.
TV series, and then he had to name a character for each TV series. Otherwise, he had to drink like +1 so far and so forth. And Tucker said Ash versus Evil Dead, and he couldn't think of a character from Ash versus Evil Dead.
It's hence the name Ash versus Evil Dead.
And it's like, it's fine if you don't know that, but he didn't know the name Ash.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
I think he got mixed up, and he thought of like naming actual like actors.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think that is what happened.
that
actually.
is what happened, but I razzed him a little bit for that.
Yeah. But anyways, where do you think this one falls?
Shoot first, think never.
Shoot first, think never. I think C.
You think C?
Yeah.
I think it's better than Wash Your Mouth Out, Kid.
I personally don't, but also, like, I mean, we can talk about it. Shoot first, think never. Like, it's
silly. I like
it is silly. I think the Wash Your Mouth Out Kid is a little bit more clever.
First you want to kill me, now you want to kiss me. Alright, who wants him? I'd say in between, or after. First you want to kill me.
You think right here?
I think right there.
Oh. Shoot first,
what do you think?
Never. I already think it. I think it's. Actually, I think it's here. Right here.
Think it's right there?
Yes. I think it's below Wash Your Mouth Out Kid, personally. But I mean, I could give. I guess, like, here. What difference does it make, right? But, I could give you B.
Okay. Well, we'll
the
do,
scene.
We'll
The
do
scene.
bottom of B.
The scene that it's a part of, I think, is.
Also, yeah,
pretty
what's
good.
the significance of the scene?
Well, basically that scene is Kelly
is
just the girl.
Mm-hmm.
She's basically that demon we saw that popped up. That was inside of Kelly, and he's trying to shoot the demon, and basically
whenever you think about the demon,
no, he's trying to shoot the demon, but the demon's way like one step ahead of him every time. So every time he points the gun at the demon, he shoots and the demon's gone and he misses.
I figured that was
so
kind of the case.
Basically, it's shoot first, think never. So he throws the gun up. I had to cut it for copyright reasons. It was claiming it, but he throws the boomstick up, I forget what he throws something up. Either his chainsaw or his boomstick. I think it's the chainsaw. He throws it up as a distraction kind of thing, and then he points his gun up straight ahead before the demon gets there, and that's when we saw it. The demon pops up, and then he pulls the trigger and shoots it. And with the context of the scene, I'll give you a B tier for sure. I only own 2 TV series on Blu-ray: Ash vs. Evil Dead and Twin Peaks. I love them both. Funny thing, that's crazy. Yeah, that is actually insane that you say that.
When we were playing Drunk Tales, the other TV series that I named was Twin Peaks as my favorite TV series of all time.
That's insane. You just listed off both of our favorite series.
That's nuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Shoot first line. I vote low B. Yeah, ultimately we agree with you.
Yeah, no, Twin Peaks is phenomenal.
That's hilarious.
I
Wow.
don't watch a lot of David Lynch, but damn, I love Twin Peaks. Can't get enough of it.
That's fair. Alrighty. Let's see what we got next.
It's good to see you, Jefe.
Good to be back.
How does it feel?
Groovy.
There's the third groovy. And I think that's...
There is a groovy 3.0.
I think that might be the... Oh, maybe there's one more, actually. One or two more? I don't know. Anyways, groovy.
How does
version
it feel?
3. How does it feel? This one, there's not much... There's not a gearing up montage or anything like that. What the hell's going on here? There we go. There's not a gearing up montage. We don't see him, like, you know, putting on his chainsaw. We don't see him making anything.
But it's just like he's back.
He's back. This is the very first episode, and it's the end of the first episode. The last line you hear. You actually heard the music cut in there for a brief second.
Yeah.
It's the last line.
So I kind of get that context.
Yes. But here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's not as good as the first groovy.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. No questions asked.
Don't question that at all. Nothing's touching first groovy.
Version 2.0. Is it better than that groovy?
I think so. I haven't seen the series, but the way that it was delivered, it seemed like it for sure.
And I agree with you, and here's why.
Okay.
Groovy version 2.0 from Army of Darkness, I feel like was like, yes, they knew
was
it worked
pretty,
in
like,
the first.
quick and passing.
That, but they
I
said
like
it,
how they use that quote very sparingly too throughout the franchise. They don't just fucking throw it in as a catchphrase or anything like that.
And here's what I'm getting at. So Army of Darkness used it in the next installment. They used groovy, and I think that they used it to try and capitalize off the success of the first one. Like, it was a bit of a callback, but it was like, yeah, that worked really well in the first one. Let me try it again in this one.
Yeah.
Ash versus Evil, they do a ton of callbacks to the previous movies, like throughout the entire series. It's all connected very well, and that's why I love it a lot too.
And that wasn't even the first season, right? That quote?
This was the first season, first episode of the series.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
very first episode of the series.
Okay, never mind.
So I think they do a callback to it nicely in the series. They don't spend too much time trying to make it into a cool montage like we see in the first one. They just get to the point and do a nice callback, which to me, I like.
Yep.
So that being said, it's not as good as the first one. I don't want to say bad, but maybe it's better than the second one. I would put it in A, I think.
Just trying to think. Death taxes, more taxes. Give me back my hand. I honestly, goodness, we're gonna be really separated on this because now that you mentioned it, I do remember it. I want to put it in low S.
Low S?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. Like,
so we've got to talk this out because you wanted to put it
in A. Like, I didn't have a specific spot in A.
Okay.
I just knew I wanted it in A. Like, I'd probably, if I was to look at these, I'd probably put it here, or sorry, right here. If you were to give me the option, you want it in low S. Like, I'm not super mad about that.
Death taxes and more death.
But for me,
okay,
what if we do this?
Yes.
For the sake of having one groovy, and one groovy in each, each tier.
That's funny.
And I think
they all like they all set like the baseline for what belongs in that.
Yeah.
They set the groovy tier list.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a groovy tier list.
So that's forceps.
Forceps.
Yeah. Okay. Twin Peaks is the reason I started doing YouTube. I'm a huge David Lynch fan. I used to be on a Twin Peaks talk show.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I didn't know that. I'll have to look that up.
We'll have to look at your Twin Peaks content for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of like anything Twin Peaks. I guess I'll say. Like some YouTuber years ago put out like a 3.5 hour like explaining all of Twin Peaks. Was it 3.5 hours or was something like that? It was a ridiculously
yeah.
It was something that no normal TV show should ever have that much like just explaining it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very dedicated to Twin Peaks and saying that. I'm I'm all in for anything Twin Peaks. So yeah, no, I'll definitely have to check that out later. Thank you for bringing that up, actually.
All right. Shall we continue on?
Yes.
We got one more quote left.
Is it one more?
One more in the entire video.
I've done so good at not looking at those, and and I've been meaning to like look down and see how many we have left.
Oh, yeah, no, this is the last one.
Okay, last one.
What?
Well, it's not rosewood, but maybe it'll help.
Oh, yeah, baby. I'm gonna shove this right up some deadeite's ass.
That's it. That's the last quote. 4 hours is what Jamie said.
4 hours. I knew
Yep,
it was an
I remember
insanely long period of time. I remember I was just when I went through the period when I was motivated enough to work out. I was just working out and listening to that.
And we got Corey coming in, King Gore. How's it going, man?
It's going great. Yeah, how are you doing?
All right. So this is the last quote we got. I'm going to shove this up some deadeite's ass. Talking about the new power gauntlet he's got. Power glove. I don't know what he's called.
I like to call it a power glove.
I think it's power gauntlet, to be honest.
Yeah,
but anyways, his old wooden hand that didn't have any mobility got destroyed, and Pablo and Kelly made him a new hand that was mobile. It could make a fist. It was actually a useful hand. And this is the point in the series, and you saw it. It was like one of the montages, like we seen in the Evil Dead 2, where he says groovy the first time, and then in Army of Darkness where he says groovy, where they're making the other glove, and then this time you expect him to say groovy, but they don't. They said, thanks, I'm gonna shove this up some deadeite's ass. That's what he says. And the reason that I think this quote is important is because it's, again, a new piece of equipment that he gets that attaches to his hand.
Okay.
So it's the power gauntlet. It's like, it's kind of the next step after his chainsaw and the boomstick, It's his power gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's obviously not as iconic or anything like that. Don't get me wrong about that. But that's why I think it's an important quote. And that's why I pulled it.
Okay. At first,
that line is S for sure. Love being late to stuff. I'm well. Just making art for folks. Glad I caught y'all. Yeah. Hey, even better late than never, right?
Exactly.
Hail to Gore King.
Hail to the Gore King. Hail to the Gore King, baby.
Yeah, hail to the king, baby. All right. Yeah, so where do you think this falls? I'm going to shove this up some deadeite's ass.
I was thinking somewhere in C.
You're thinking C? Damn.
I was thinking somewhere in C.
This is the one we differentiate the most on then.
Okay.
I'm thinking A because of what I said.
Sorry, not somewhere in C, somewhere in B, rather.
Okay.
I've got to put that out there, sorry.
Okay, I'm thinking A because again, it's super important to the series, the TV series, where he gets his new hand, and like it's the first time he puts it on, and I think it's personally mid A. If you were to tell me where in A, I would put it. I would put it right here in A. If this was only up to me, is where I would put it.
Oh, God.
Where do you think you'd put it?
Now that I look at all this a lot more, so sorry, drop it there for a second.
Okay.
I want to move up. Why are you torturing me? Like at least up a few slots. The more that I look, the more that I look.
You want to put "Why are you torturing me" up? Oh,
like
man,
not
that's
A,
not.
but like.
Oh, okay.
If she went out in the woods, I know your damn words. So maybe like behind, head down to the cellar and carve yourself a witch.
Right here.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's a nitpick.
No, I'm not mad with that.
Okay.
But what do you think about
shove this up your ass?
Deadeite's ass? With the context of it being the new glove, new gauntlet, it's like that's the gauntlet he wears, and he's always interchanging it.
Okay.
He's interchanging it with his like chainsaw and stuff.
So personally, I would put it maybe in between "Why Are You Torturing Me" and "Let's Go Down to the Cellar," but I'll compromise. I'll put it at the bottom of A.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. That's 4 sips for that one.
Yeah. That's a good closer.
Alrighty. Well, that wraps up all the clips that we've got. That was 30, I think. It was 30. Jamie loves the shove it line.
1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Alex over here doing the math.
5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It's 30 exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was 30. That's why I stopped pulling quotes, because we had reached a nice 30. And honestly, it's clearly heaviest is A tier. Mm-hmm. I thought A would be the heaviest, to be honest. I actually thought there would be more S than B.
I thought so too.
But
yeah,
I mean, B is still a solid tier. Like, those are some solid quotes. Don't get me wrong. But clearly, just like over the course of the whole franchise, there's been some iconic. These are only Ash quotes too. These are not any other quotes in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So just Ash one-liners, phrases, quotes. There's a lot of iconic ones, to say the least.
Yeah.
So,
so in saying that, the bottom 3 are all The Evil Dead.
The bottom 3, yeah.
The bottom 3 are all The Evil Dead.
And we expected it to be the bottom. I'm actually proud of it for getting one in B tier, to be honest.
Yeah, it made its way up there.
It did. It started in C.
It started in C, and then we were just like,
it deserves a little bit more credit.
And then we just kept moving it up and up and up.
Great stream. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a part of it. Glad you're tuned in. Yeah, it was a fun one. I like doing these tier lists. This is a little bit of a more obscure one, I guess. It's not something that I haven't seen a lot of people do, or actually I haven't seen anybody do a tier list on it, so I figured it would be a good idea to try and do something unique like this. It was fun. I liked it. Mm-hmm. It was a nice simple tier list. Didn't go on for too long. How long has it been? Almost 2 hours since we've gone live. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say?
Not overly. So drinking games coming out soon. We'll talk about that.
I mean,
obviously more Evil Dead.
Yeah, we have Evil Dead, the 2013 remake coming out tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So tune into that. We have Ash vs. Evil Dead drinking game for the TV series.
Evil Dead Rise is coming out. We don't even have anything planned for that.
It's at the end of the week. We have it coming out. The drinking game.
We haven't seen drinks. It, so we're gonna throw something together.
Yeah, it'll be out probably on the weekend when we release those. But yeah, I mean, in the meantime, it's been a fun stream.
Yeah. What else do we got? We got some more newer movies.
We're going to be doing, a couple new movies coming out. One we've seen, one we're going to see next week.
Renfield, I'd say it's a fun watch. I'd say probably top 3 movies I've seen this year.
This was fun. Hell yeah, the remake is dope. Yeah, tune in to see our drinking game tomorrow. And actually, we're going to be making a ranking video on it as well. Mm-hmm. Not on Evil Dead specifically, but the whole franchise.
The whole franchise. And I'm not sure if we're going to it's going to be one of the things where
I gotta go to the bathroom super quick.
You can go to the bathroom super
I've been holding it for so long.
I have been too. I'll go after you.
Okay. You can control if people talk.
So anyways, the Evil Dead franchise, it's very unique in if anybody said any movie was their favorite, it's completely acceptable. And the thing is, it's the exact same way for if anybody said anything was their least favorite, people would be mad, but for the sense that all the movies are so good that you can't. It's just the fact that if anything at the bottom of a tier list, for instance, or a rankings video is at the bottom, it just looks bad. So, for instance, if The Evil Dead is your least favorite Evil Dead movie, it looks bad because it's the very last, it's the worst. And the worst in that sense means bad. But if a lot of people will rank it 8 out of 10 easily. So in saying that, it's just super, I guess, awkward for tier lists, especially considering that all Evil Dead movies are high quality. But Anyways, it's gonna be an interesting stream when we see Evil Dead Rise and rank the movies. I feel like Tucker and we're gonna have some interesting opinions, and I don't know if he's gonna align with me, or we're gonna be so. If we're gonna differentiate, if we're gonna be so different that it's gonna be weird.
I guess I don't need these on. Sorry, what are you talking about?
I was basically just summing up that if you have a different opinion than I do on any Evil Dead movie, that it's going to be weird for the fact that we're going to call it our least favorite and the other person can very well call it our most favorite.
Oh yeah. I think the Evil Dead franchise is one of those series that it's like consistent all the way through.
And that's the thing. It's
kind of similar to Scream in that sense, but Scream there's some definitive ones that are at the bottom.
Yes,
but
Scream there's some ones like Scream 3 and 2 I'd say are definitively at the bottom.
I don't agree with 2.
I agree with 2.
And so then you don't agree. We don't agree.
Anyways,
but that's just the point. A lot of people rank 2 as their favorite.
And that's the thing. So for instance, Evil Dead, you can see any of them at the bottom just because of how good all the other movies are.
Yeah, and I don't think there's no bad ones.
There's not a single bad entry.
Yeah.
I was saying that my least favorite's probably an 8 out of 10. I'd even say 8.5 out of 10.
I think my least favorite's also an 8. I think I ranked them for just in my notes for our video. But yeah, I don't know. Do we have anything else to say? Should we close this off? Wrap this up?
New releases. We don't want to count numbers. We're going to theaters. We're getting some content out really quickly. Renfield, Beau is Afraid, Evil Dead Rise. That's what to expect.
Yeah, in the next few weeks, that's what's coming out. So, yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe, like this video. It helps engagement. We need all the engagement we can get. We need to boost our numbers. We want to boost our numbers. We want.
Speaking of which, thanks for everyone commenting in the chat.
Yeah, it's always fun when people comment.
It's fun to interact. That's one of my favorite parts about live streams, that we actually get to interact with people live.
Absolutely. But yeah, I guess for now, this is us tuning off. Signing off, tuning off.
Doing things. We're doing things.
Thanks for tuning in. This is us saying cheers to fears.